Hey, welcome back to the Gratu Orloff Show. It's episode 530. It's June 10th, 2022. I think that's the date. Another episode of trying to organize and alphabetize Bronze Age, mostly Bronze Age comic books here. Let's see. Got a few issues of Archie that I'm filing separately in separate Archie boxes. So these will go in another room into the Archie section. Here's a good cover. Okay, and here's a comic book. I can't really account for why I own it because it doesn't look like something I ever would have purchased. So it looks like it must have been something that was free, possibly that came along with a Wizard or something, because it's only like a few pages long, and it's issue 0. Those are things that kind of junk up your collection and make it look bad. Here's Grimjack. It may be the only issue that I own. It's not that I think it's a bad comic, because I've never read it. I don't know how I acquired this issue. The art inside is good. In fact, that's who is this artist? The art looks very British. I thought it was Paul Gulacy, but I don't think so. Anyway, here's those will go into an independent, some independent boxes. So will these reprints of Mandrake the Magician. Because what I'm doing is I'm putting Marvel and DC in these boxes from 1971 to today, although I don't think I own any Marvel and DC comics from 2022. No, I actually bought a Batman comic or two because they had Ace the Bat Hound in it, and I was recommended. I got a couple of those, so I don't know. Myron Moose. Okay. Let me move this box because the dog wants through. Okay, so here's finally a DC comic. Secrets of Girls' Love. Okay, so this is going to go in the other room with the Silver Age books. As will first issue of Captain Savage and his Leatherneck Raiders. I'll get that in the other room. Here's The Barbarians featuring Iron Jaw from Atlas Seaboard. This is issue 1. A special area I'm putting my Atlas books in. Here's Fantasy Masterpieces number 10, reprinting Golden Age Marvel stuff. So that goes here. Okay, here's Falling in Love number 77. And this goes with the Silver Age, as does this issue of Marvel Tales number 2 from 1965. I showed this on a Graphic Man show. Drew, don't start doing that, man. The dog, Drew, is with me here. Drew, come here. Come here. Drew, you are a very nice dog, but do not lick or chew on anything in here. Anyway, what I wanted to show you is this. There was a cartoon series in 1966 called Marvel Superheroes, which I dearly loved. Yes, it had limited animation, but it was Silver Age comics come to life. Wonderful acting, John Vernon. Wonderful music, fantastic theme songs. It was like listening to an old radio show, and you could read your comics right along with it. The dialogue was right straight out of the comics. Well, anyway, they had it where the station could run it 5 days a week, and I forget the order. You know, they had Captain America, they had Iron Man, they had Submariner. Thursday was supposed to be the day that you ran Thor, and then Friday, I think, was, who did I not mention? Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk. Anyway, there were great theme songs by a guy named Jacques Urbant, who also went by Jack Urbant, a Canadian guy, and he's on. There's a wonderful interview with him, I think from PBS on YouTube, where he not only is interviewed and tells about how he came up with these great theme songs, but he also sings them with piano accompaniment by some young guy. But he went in to talk to Stan Lee, and Stan Lee says, "Well, do you know these characters?" And he said, "No," or maybe he said, "Yeah," but he quickly went out and researched them. And I think this is probably one of the comics he picked up, because it would time out perfectly, because this comic existed then. This was a 1965 issue of Marvel Tales, issue number 2. And this reprints the first issue of X-Men and the first Avengers, but this Hulk story that's reprinted, the Hulk versus the Ringmaster, explains something. See here, Hulk is a clown in a circus, right? Well, in this interview that he does, that you can see on YouTube, he says the Hulk was often depicted as a clown, and it's like, God damn it. And no, he wasn't depicted as a clown, only in this one issue. And that's why in the theme song for the Hulk, a lady with a Betty Boop kind of sounded voice says, "He's no monster clown." I always thought that the line she was saying, "He's no monster," and then she was calling you a clown for thinking he's a monster. He's no monster, comma, clown, like you're the clown. But no, it's he's no monster, dash, clown. Anyway, that's the origin of that strange lyric in that theme song. Okay, so these Silver Age books need to go into another room. And these Archies. And this Atlas. Okay, let's do that. So today's Friday, and that's very exciting. It's very different from every other day, isn't it? It's so different. Okay, excuse me. A guy came by this morning that is going to help me with the leak in the roof in the garage. He looked like a Civil War veteran. Anyway, so that's about the only thing different today than every other day. Okay, so I'm going to put this Atlas book with the other Atlas books. These Archie books go in this Archie box. These Silver Age books need to come in here into this comic book room. Okay. And this is where I'm going to put these Silver Age books into these Silver Age boxes. Okay. Oh, important news for those of you that tune in regularly. I found my Reptilicus 3 sheet, and the one for I Was a Teenage Werewolf, and anyway, I found the stuff that was missing. It was well, but I still didn't find the Pebbles Flintstone doll, and there still seems to be a few things missing. But gradually I'm starting to find some of the things that had... one of the things I thought was missing was this James Bond paperback ad. Little cardboard topper for a spinner rack. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, those posters, I'll show you where I found them. They were right here. Right here, yeah. Right under this picture of this pinup witch. Where these are the posters I was missing. How about that? Oh, and here's some Christmas ornaments. I need to go put these on the Christmas tree. Let's do that, and then I'll show you the, where did I put that James Bond topper? I put it up somewhere high so she wouldn't chew on it, because she's got this new habit of liking to chew on cardboard. Like some goddamn liberal or something, like some kind of Democrat. But I'll forgive her. Oh, there's the James Bond topper. But I gotta hang these ornaments. A few years ago, Target had these science fiction kind of looking ornaments. Alright. So, let's see. Goddamn. I'm listening to Nerdrotic from a few days ago, complaining about identity politics in the TV shows. Let's see. Can you imagine? Why would someone complain about that? Let's see. Putting ornaments on an aluminum tree is a little challenging for a mental patient like me. Okay, so now I've got these on there. That's great. Let's get that James Bond topper where it belongs.
Rotten Tomatoes is totally fake and totally shills. But what I think the reason that we bring it up is because this is their playground.
Oh, here we go. This is one of the things that I could not find anywhere. And it says here, Mr. Dealer, cut on the dotted line if you would prefer to use this card as a counter or window display piece. But I instead use it as a topper for the magazine, for the paperback rack. I think that's what it was intended to be. So, this historic moment, it's reunited with the paperback rack. So let's do that now. And I think I'm going to put the Reptilicus poster right here. So I'll have to move this poster for Ding Dong Girlies into probably the guest bedroom. So, let's see. I think like this, yeah. Is that how you do it? Just a moment. I'm trying to remember how to put it on here. Oh yeah, okay. All right, I'll show you. Like this, except let's get some James Bond books. Let's get this Thunderball under it. So if I put this here, okay, so have you met James Bond 007, a complete assortment of Ian Fleming suspense classics. See the thrilling James Bond movies at your local theater. So, all right. So all is right with the world again. Except Drew's. What are you looking now? You're chewing on a previews? I may have to take you downstairs, man. You're getting too rambunctious, man. Drew, just chill out. Move, please, Drew. Escuche. No, what does that mean? Does that mean move or does that mean listen in Spanish? Repito, Juanesito, la jato watoa, whatever. I'm inventing a language. Mokoto, yara soto, mala santa. Okay. No, man, you're gonna fuck up everything, aren't you? Come here, Drew. I got a fun place for you, man. Come on, Drew. I'm gonna show you the way, Drew. I want you to show me the way. All right. Come here, Drew. Come here. Come on, Drew. Come on, let's go.
Whatever, and I'm like, oh, they're right now
Come here, Drew.
to mock
Drew,
people who like
come here,
this
come here.
stuff. You genuinely
Here,
like
Drew.
this Disney Channel series that looks like
Drew, come here.
an episode was shot in a week.
Come here, Drew.
I'm just like, oh, you
Here.
gotta hurry and get things done. That's why we gotta do
Drew.
all the action in a master shot.
Go on in there.
Do anything dynamic, and also,
All right. Sorry, Drew. She's in the locked in the tiki lounge.
just everything.
I'm sorry. She's gonna destroy everything. So she likes it in there. That's her house. But for right now, until I get all this stuff up off the floor, I'm gonna need to encage her. Is encage a word? Cage her. Encage, indeed. I've invented a word. Okay. So we're back. Oh, this is the Sugar and Spike goddamn digest I was telling you about. I get vertigo, man, walking on a floor from 1918 sometimes, like I'm on a pirate ship. I asked that guy this morning, he's a builder, contractor kind of guy, is this something to worry about? And he said, no, it's just the way these houses are. They were built back in those days, man. Okay. The fuck, frick. Okay, well, here's it looks like an issue of X-Men, but it's a parody. This is actually the real name of this comic book is One Shot Parody. So they've got a female watcher, which don't let Disney see this, they'll probably do it. Because it's all new, all different. All the characters are now going to be teenage girls. Okay. Now I could file this under O for One Shot, but I'm just going to file it with the X-Men because it makes more sense to me. And technically it should be filed with Independent Comics, but who cares? Using the actual X-Men title is something that is of relatively recent there's a relatively recent legal precedent for that stuff. It used to be when you did a parody, you changed the name a little bit, and even then people might sue you. Instead of Mickey Mouse, it would be Mickey Rodent. Instead of Superman, it would be Stuperman or Super Duper Man or something, or Stupid Man. But then, I guess at a certain point, there was a legal precedent set that if no reasonable person would buy that product and think it's the original, you can actually use the name. You can use names like X-Men, but what you can't use are our symbols are still copy protected. So you could do a dirty movie, and it's been done, called Spider-Man, but you can't use the spider symbol on his chest. you need to change it a little bit and make it an X. Or you could make I'll show you some examples of what I'm talking about. So this is something relatively recent in legal standards. I think there's some parodies in here. The superhero parodies are downstairs. Oh, but here's an example. Okay. So this is it uses the Star Wars name, and but adding the XXX. The idea is that no reasonable person would pick this up and think they're actually buying a legitimate Star Wars film. So that was a new these parodies are a new thing, or like this parody of Bewitched, for example. It says not bewitched, so adding the NOT. I'd show you this. I've got some superhero ones, but they're I think they're down with the superhero stuff in the basement. Yeah, so here's the Munsters parody. So you can actually use the real names now. So isn't that exciting? I'll go down to the basement and show you what I'm talking about here in a little bit. Oh, here's some more comics I got to file. Okay. I got to do less talking and more filing. Okay, here's DC Special All. What is that? Oh, DC Special with Joe Kubert. Okay, so that'll go over here in the D's. There's Disney Mermaid cover. These EC reprints. I'm putting all the EC reprints together, and then I'll alphabetize them in their own separate box. It's just something that makes more sense to me. When the TV show was on HBO, Tales from the Crypt was recognizable to normal people, but not the other titles like Vault of Horror. So it says Tales from the Crypt presents Vault of Horror, because they're trying to sell it to normies, normal people that don't know what we know. That Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror are pretty much interchangeable, and that the HBO series adapted stories from Vault of Horror and Haunt of Fear as well. Okay, so I'm putting these I'm starting to put some Disney books here, and I'm putting some Atlas books here, and then these EC books I'm putting over here. Okay. Oh, and I found the A's the other day. I was looking for where are the Action Comics. I found that what I had done is I had a short box yeah, because I was going to convert everything to short boxes, and I converted all of my Silver Age collection into short boxes. Then I was going to start doing it with the Bronze Age, but I only got 2 boxes in, up through like All-Star Comics. And now I don't know if I have a lot of more short boxes, and I won't have more until I'm able to get to a comic store. Where did I put that A box? Is it here? No. What does that say? Action. There it is. Underneath the Playboy centerfold. See, that's how I lose things, man. They get hidden under Playboy centerfolds. Okay. All right. Let's move this. Okay. Now, see what I've got is this is my first box of Bronze Age. And then this was the second one, and that's as far as I got, so up through like Iraq. And then this starts with Orion. Okay. But I've got a lot of A books I need to put in there. I may need to add a long box. I've got some long boxes down in the basement. And then I can show you what I mean about those comic book parodies too while I'm there. So let's head on down there. When I get down there, the cats are going to beg for treats like Hunter Biden begs for the various things that he begs for, you know. So let's head on down to the basement, which is really needing a lot of attention, the basement. Here's Pete. They hang out in that cardboard box down there and watch the outside world. So this is the way down to the arcade where the cats hang out. These are all the celebrities that have visited the arcade over the decades. Mamie Van Doren, you know, Tempest Storm, all these famous people. Okay, next slide. Okay. Okay, so down here it's just a bunch of boxes, you know, a bunch of boxes that need to be organized and stuff. And then in here are a bunch of boxes. So it's just a mess. There's Alan the cat, and there's Pete the cat. How are you guys doing? You're wanting some treats, aren't you? Pete, don't beg. It's shameful, man. Oops, some of them landed on Pete's back. Well, I'm glad I'm done with this because it turns out I accidentally bought Purina brand, which is, I've been told Purina is not good for, I don't want to say anything shocking, but I've got another one here waiting that's the brand they really like. Although they seem to like that pretty much too, Temptations. So I'll open that up next time I come down to the basement and give them some of those. All right, so in here, I left the light on in here when that guy was here. This is the record room and videotape room and all that stuff. I need to get this. There's a door here. I need to cover this. It goes down under the house. He says I need to cover this door, inside of this door, with some foam, and that'll keep some of the moisture out of here. Okay, so that's something I've got to get on possibly today. All right, so we got two rooms here. filled with stuff that is just, I don't know what to tell you. All right, so here's all the superhero DVDs, pretty much, all that kind of stuff. Let me see if I can't find an example of what I was talking about. Oh, like this. The Incredible Hulk. Oh, there's nudity. I better be careful showing you that. Or Spider-Man. This actually has a comic book that comes with it. See there, the free little comic book comes with it. And let's see, they don't change the names. They just have to. They can't use the Superman S symbol, but they can use the Superman logo because there's. Today is the anniversary of Adam West passing, and if you aren't aware, there were animated films made with Adam West and Burt Ward doing the voices, and this has Julie Newmar doing the voice of Catwoman. But there was a sequel to it made. It's here somewhere on the shelf, where William Shatner plays Two-Face, and you've got to get that. I'm not seeing it right now. So anyway, I actually need to glue this thing back together, but I have room to put books on the shelf, so I need to get down here and start doing that. I've been neglecting the basement, and that's not cool, man. Okay. And then this room here is just some filing cabinets and some books. And I've got my EC reprints, Russ Cochran in here. And soon this will be turned into a Wonderland too, but it's going to take a while. Anyway. You got your pinball machines. I've already shown you this area, I believe. Anyway, this is where the cats hang out. And the kitchen, we haven't used the kitchen much at all because we've been pretty much eating out every night and driving ourselves into the poorhouse, as my mother would have said. Of course, I don't think they have poorhouses anymore. That's an antiquated expression. Okay. So, at some point, something will be done with this room. I don't know what, but I'll think of something. All right. Yes. Adam West, I think it's been 5 years since he passed away. 5 years ago today. And here is the bat room. Oh, there we go. Sometimes the light switch didn't work. Wonderful. Here's Adam West's autograph. Oh. Delightful. Little shrine to Adam West here. Yes, Adam West will be missed. He used to, every Thanksgiving, show the turkey he was cooking on Facebook, and he would film himself cooking in the kitchen and teach you recipes. It was kind of cool. All right. Why did I go down there? I went down there, I fed the cats, I showed you those discs, but there was another reason I went down there. I could have sworn. What was the other reason I went to the basement? I said I needed to do something. I can't remember now. It's nice weather today. Why did I go to the basement? It wasn't just to show you those parodies, because there was some other reason. All right, back to organizing comic books. Enough wondering. Shit. Okay, what are these books? Okay, so we've got Defenders 144. You know, I found the A's, but somewhere there's a box with H books with the Hulk comics and House of Mystery and House of Secrets. That's the thing that's I always have something that's bugging me. And it's probably here in this room. But seeing these Hulk books, I'm taking them out of these grubby yellow bags. I mean, I hear people say it's better that they be in the grubby yellow bags than in no bag at all. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't like the way the bags stick together or to the books next to them in the box. All those Golden Age books you have, and most of the Silver Age books, spent decades not in bags. So I'll put them all in bags and boards. It's just a matter of when will I be able to afford that, and when will I be somewhere where they sell bags. I guess I can drive into Des Moines and patronize one of those stores. It's like an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half away. Right now I can't get out of my own car. I can't open the door because the handle broke, the inside handle broke off. And I can't roll the window down because the motor's broken, so I can't reach out through the window and open the door from the outside. So I have to have my wife with me, and she goes around and opens the door for me like she's my butler or something. So that's the way things are. June the 10th, 2022. The year of Brother Voodoo. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The Defenders number 14. 25-cent books. You should always check and make sure the value stamp is intact. Look at this monster. Full page monster. Let's look for the value stamp. Whew. I don't think they had, unless it's on the letter page. Maybe it's on the letter page. Yeah, they don't have a value stamp in this particular 25-cent issue. But I did see an ad for rock t-shirts. I want to look at that. Who are the bands? Oh, no, they don't mention bands. Yeah, they do. Mick Jagger, Beatles, Humble Pie, Beach Boys, Doobie Brothers, Yes, T-Rex, Allman Brothers, Chicago, Kung Fu, Black Oak, Arkansas, Grand Funk Railroad, Pink Floyd, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. From On Top is the name of the company you could order these from. Let me get this lined up for you. These are rock t-shirts. These ads entertain me. This book is probably going to be from early 1975, wouldn't you say? No, 1974. I was July 74. I was wrong by a few months. I was going to say 74 at first. Yeah, because it's before, they started doing the value stamps. Moon Knight number 22, Mark Spector Moon Knight. Ugh. This is horrible. Oh, this is from the wrong time period, see, because real Marvel comics have the strip across the top, or they have the little box here from the 60s. This is from the $1.50 era, and look at. Don't you hate people that say look it? I hadn't heard that since elementary school. People say look it. Now I'm hearing adults say look it. And I noticed the new thing, the press secretaries for the president, the Raggedy Ann, what was her name? Jen Psaki. Two alcohol. It's like a James Bond girl name. Gin and sake, 2 drinks, right? Except the James Bond girl names were always sexually suggestive. It should have been gin tonic. Anyway, the new one, I don't know what her name is. Jean Baptiste. She's this the new one that's real illiterate and has to read everything very badly, like a 4th grader when she talks to the press. They always say look, but you can tell it's written, because she'll say, well, and then she'll remember, oh, I'm supposed to say look before I talk, because something psychological about saying look. And even Kayleigh McEnany, wasn't she the one for Trump? I loved her, but she said look too. So even the good guys say look, so there's something intrinsic in that look. What I wanted to say is look it. I hate how they have the black going to the edge of the page. They do that in all these modern comics. But they still have some of the traditional white borders. It's right on the cusp of when everything just went to complete shit, I guess. Well, let's see. The M's are over here, I guess. Defenders. There's a Defenders 144. I just showed that to you. That goes down here. Here's an older Defenders. I need to get rid of this bag too. Oh man. Also it's issue 13, also a 25 center. So let's look and make sure the value stamp's in it. Yeah, and it's intact. But yeah, that's something that I teach people that are new to the hobby on these 25-cent Marvel comics. Always check for the value stamp. Oh, and Graphic Man taught me something. It wasn't on the show on Wednesday. He was talking to me before the show started, and he taught me a secret, and I'll relate it to you. And he may be intending to tell you himself, and I don't want to scoop him, but and it may be something you guys already know. But he explained how you could tell, Gold Key Comics are notorious for not putting the issue numbers on the front cover. And you have to open them up to, the first page to see the issue number and the year and month that it came out. But let's go on in here. I'll show you. I'm starving, man. I should go up to the Hy-Vee and get a cheeseburger. Let's see. He was showing me that there's a number. Oh, I need my glasses. Shit. Damn. Maybe some light would help. Sometimes having more light helps. Okay, so let's take this issue of the Addams Family, which is actually issue number 3. I taped this little 3 on the outside of the Mylar bag back in the old days when you used to have the little stickers that came with the VHS cassettes would have little numbers on them. Anyway, if you look at this, you see where it's the, I don't know if you can even see, but the last 3 digits there under the gold key emblem, it says 504. So if you look at the last 2, 04, I think that means May of 74. It could be, I think that's what he told me. But why would it be 04? Hold on. Maybe it works with the older ones. Okay, so. Okay, this is 302. So if that's correct, then this is March of 72. I don't know. Is that right? 72. My eyes have seen the glory. Where is March? Well, it is 72. So I guess it is probably March. I don't know. Let's see. Let's keep trying it. See if it makes sense. Let's try this. Deputy Dog presents Dinky Duck and Hashimoto-san. The numbers here say, what does that say? Shit. 508. Okay, since it's a 12-cent comic, and comics were 12 cents from 1961 to, what, 68? That's going to be the fact that it says 508. 8 would be 68, and 5, this would be May of 68. So let's open it up and see if we're correct. And you can also get the year. There's usually a copyright down at the bottom, although I think that's a 65. I need to have my reading glasses on, or get my atomic magnifying glass. I found that. It's downstairs. Okay, let's see what it really is. Damn, my eyes. I'm probably completely wrong. I can't fucking can't even read. Anyway, there's some magic system, and maybe you can research it online. Most of you probably have no interest in Gold Key comics anyway. Actually, yes, you would. If you're watching this channel, you probably care about this kind of stuff. Okay, so Deputy Dog. I'll go through these Gold Key comics soon. I think I've got the Gold Key comics pretty well organized here in these boxes, in 3 short boxes, and I know I've got more that I'll be putting in there, like this Lone Ranger, and but gradually I've got room to spread out because I've got this whole room with no furniture over here, so that's finally allowing me to spread out enough where I can get things organized. So here's some comics I need to file, but those are actually, so I've got some comics mixed into these magazines. Here's some, okay, what is that? Oh, okay, let's move. The Silver Age will stay in this room. We've got Marvel's Greatest Comics 27 and House of Secrets number 94. And you'll say, well, technically, Gratu, this is not Silver Age, but I count it as Silver Age because I don't count a DC comic as Bronze Age until they go to 20 cents. So they were 15 cents, then they went up to the 25 cent price until about, what, 74 1 or 2. When they go to 20 cents, that's when I consider the Bronze Age starting as far as my collection, because that way I can easily distinguish them. And to me, the Silver Age goes on until this corner box ends. And so as soon as the stripe across the cover begins on Marvel, that's when I start filing them separately as Bronze Age. And I know technically the Bronze Age starts with Conan the Barbarian #1, and that still has a corner box, but that's just how I do it. And you can do it however you want, because everybody's ideas are equally valid, right? We're all equal, right? We're all... Okay. So I got a handful of comics I'm bringing in here. Okay, so let's sit down here. Okay, so I was filing Harvey comics in these boxes here. This is these are some Action Comics I need to file in that newly discovered box that has the A books. But I gotta find that H box, man. Here's another one. Okay, so this will go in the Archie box, which is in there. It's Spectre and Amethyst. These are reprints of John Byrne stories from Charlton Comics, but these reprints were not done by Charlton. But I'm going to throw them in with the Charlton books because, you know, I've got a lot of these original issues and they just seem to belong there. Okay, Disney. I'm putting those here to put them in that other room. Okay, I don't know if this might be my childhood copy of this. I remember buying this. If not, I have more than one copy. Okay, Silver Age Classics. Here's Gil Kane, Superman. Okay, so put that over there. Weird War number 53. Damn, that's pretty terrifying. And look, look what it says on his uniform. The hardest name. All right. Superman 280. That's a great cover. Action Comics 543. Captain America 231. DC Superstars number 12. Action number 535. Oh, get rid of this bag. This is perfect for Pride Month. It's got a rainbow. And you know that's the only thing that rainbows mean, I guess, anymore. Action 638. Marvel Age, a number 70, which is the She-Hulk we'll never see on screen. Anything like that. Okay, the rest of these look like Marvel 2-in-1 and What If. Whatever. Oh, wow. What? I've got 2 copies of this. Marvel 2-in-1 Fighting the Golem. who was called It, the Living Colossus, when I was in 4th or 3rd grade. Look at this Ernie Chan cover. One of my favorite artists. Look at the horrified expression on that guy. Let's see. All right, so that's. So I would technically throw this in with the Silver Age, this issue. Okay, all right. So are these okay? Here's Disney. All right, Richie Rich, Millions. This is Sad Sack. Marvel Tales. Here's a Marvel Tales. I'll put that here. Here's a more recent Richie Rich. Here's a Gold Key Daffy Duck. Let's try that number thing. 312. 312. With I can't see. Let me see here. Maybe the 3 means 73 and the 12 is the month. I see. Damn it. I think that is. Okay, I think I was telling you wrong. December. Okay, so the 3, the first number is the last digit of the year. 7. Did that say 73? I think it is December of 73. Okay, so I was telling you wrong. Okay, so now this, it doesn't work on a Whitman variant of a Gold Key because they don't have those numbers there. Okay, here's an Atlas Seaboard. I can put that in the other room. Avengers 104. Avengers 128. This was the first Avengers comic I ever bought off the rack. 139. And there's 152. The Kirby cover. I always like that skull. Skull staring at the Mark of the Beast, the UPC code. That ought to be my snapshot for this video. Okay, so. All right, so I'm going to file these. This Richie Rich stuff. So many different Richie Rich titles. There's just the original Richie Rich. Richie Rich Dollars and Cents. I'll put Richie Rich Big Bucks. Here's Richie Rich Millions. There's Dollars and Cents. Dollars and Cents. Oh, there's another Big Bucks. I guess that's issue 7. This is more recent. Probably 1990s. Probably to cash in on that horrible movie with that disgusting cretin Macaulay Culkin. Richie Rich Millions. Okay. Wait. Cash Money would be before Dollars and Cents. Not chronologically, but alphabetically. I've got tons of Richie Riches. They're just not in this box yet. Sad Sack with Sarge and Sadie. There's Sad Sack. Yeah, I think I've got a whole box or two of Sad Sacks somewhere I'm going to bring in alphabetize here. Okay. So, let's move these. These are our Disney books. These are Charlton books. Let me try that Gold Key trick again now that I think I've figured it out. Okay, I'm trying to stand up. I made it. Okay, so we put the Sabrina comic in with the Archie's. This copy of Tales of Evil with the Atlas Seaboard. These go in with the Charlton. And these go with the Disney. And the Gold Key are in this room over here. Now let's try this again. Gold Key books. Okay, let's try it out with this issue of Doc Savage. Okay. 6/11. So that would, being 12 cents, that would be 1966, November of 66. That would make sense. Because with the popularity of Batman, they're trying to bring back any old hero they could think of, and I guess they must have gotten the rights for Doc Savage briefly, so they could hopefully turn him into the next big thing. Let's try this Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom. Shit. Yeah, I think that's what it is. The first digit is the last number of the year, and I think that says 5, so that would make it 1965, and then I think that says 5. Damn. So it would be May of 65. You say, well, how do we know it's not 1955? How do you know it's 65? How do you know it's not 1975? Because it's a 12-cent book. And comic books were always 10 cents until 1961. They became 12 cents, and they were 12 cents until 68. So a 12-cent book, you're going to be in the 60s. And then if a book is 20 cents, 25 cents, 30, 35 cents, those are going to be in the 70s. So that last digit will tell you that you are in the 70s. So let's try this one. Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom, number 25. Okay. I believe, is that an 8? So that would be 68, and then the 10 would make it October of 68. October of 68. Possibly. Oh, yeah, because you look. It works because it's a 15-center, and as I said, comics went up to 15 cents in 1968. All right. Because a Democrat was president and prices started to go up. Inflation's usually started by Democrat presidents. I don't like to say Democratic president. It's like some. Let's try it one more time. Okay, this one I know is going to be about 1971 or 70, because this is a book I got as a child. But it looks like it's 72. 8 is 8 is August, right? August of 72. Yeah, comics were still. Wait, would they? No, wait. It's August of 72. Wouldn't comics be 20 cents? I don't know. Let's try this one. Okay. This says 4/07, so that would be 1974. July 07 would be July of 74. Let's see if that works. July of 74. Okay, so that's the deal. The first, if you look at the last 3 digits under the gold key emblem, the first digit is the last number of the year, and the last two digits are the month. And then of course you can open it up and check, and then the price will also give you a clue. You know, in 1974, comics were up to 25 cents. Because during the 70s, comics tended to go up in price very quickly. That's because Nixon was convinced by Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger was the guy that handpicked Klaus Schwab for that World Economic Forum. You know, they both sound like Nazis if you listen to them talking. And Henry Kissinger was the guy that convinced Nixon to go off the gold standard. So when we went off the gold standard, the prices just kept shooting up. And so for years, money had value. 10 cents was a lot of money. You buy a comic with 10 cents. It was consistent. The 1930s, 40s, 50s, and the early 60s, and then comics went up to 12 cents. But then once we went off the gold standard and comics were 15 cents by that point, then it was just like 20 cents, 25 cents, 30, 35 cents. And by about 1980, when DC experimented with, was it 79? DC experimented with putting out thicker comics and selling them for $1. That's when, now, and that seemed like a lot of money. Now that's not much money by today's standards, but for a comic book. But my older brother just gave me so much shit. He said he couldn't believe I was paying $1 for a comic because he bought them during the 12-cent era. He was, about 10 years older than me, so he had grown up during the Silver Age. But he hated Marvel. He didn't buy Marvel. He only bought DC. So, and none of those comics were handed down to me. I think they were disposed of probably. They probably got rid of them when we moved from San Antonio to Germany around 1969. I'm betting that those just weren't put on into them. Those weren't sent across the ocean. But my brother told me he was most proud of having an entire collection of every issue of Dial H for Hero. So I later discovered that was actually House of Mystery, and I bought all those that I could find at Lone Star Comics. But now let me see. The Silver Age House of Mysteries are going to be in here. But my Bronze Age House of Mystery and Hulks are what? See, this box says Silver Age Comics, House of Mystery to Marvel Collector's Item Classics, which was incredibly stupid to write it on the box, because as I add more to it, that's not going to be accurate anymore. But I guess I can turn the box around the other way or put a sticker over it. That wasn't the smartest move. I just figured, I guess, now that I'm here, I'm not going to be adding many comics to my collection because there's no stores that sell them, so it's probably going to stay static pretty much. Those books will be contained in that box. Oh, there's some Charlton books that need to be filed in the Charlton box. And some Archies. Let's do that. Okay, Cheyenne Kid. Someday this will all be done. So Cheyenne Kid, Primus, which was a TV show I never saw. Here's a Gold Key Daffy Duck. Here's some Archies. Fighting Army goes in the Charlton box. Daffy Duck goes back in here to be filed amongst the Gold Key. I'll just set it over here with this Dagar. Or is it Dagger? I don't know how you pronounce it. Yes, indeed. So, let's get to filing. I haven't done much filing today. All right, let's go over here. And I'll just sit down here, Indian style. They don't call it Indian style anymore. Remember when we were in school, the teacher said, okay, class, we're going to sit Indian style, and you'd cross your legs. But now that's considered, I guess, racist. So teachers say, we're going to sit crisscross applesauce, which doesn't even make any damn sense. But they don't say Indian style anymore. If you've got a young child at home that goes to school and you say we're going to sit Indian style, they will probably draw a blank and not know what you're talking about. Because of when you were in school, do you remember in PE gym class they had these old parachutes that were probably Army surplus from World War II or the Korean War, and the teacher would have you get around the parachute, and then you would lift up the parachute, and it would billow up, and then you'd all get under it. I don't think they do that anymore, but that was really a lot of fun. And the teachers would inevitably play the Fifth Dimension, up, up, and away, my beautiful one. You remember that? Was it that way? Or is that only in Army schools? Because I remember doing that. Okay, Avengers 152. This is the box with the Avengers. Oh, look at this. I already have an Avengers 152. Yeah, how about that? This is Avengers 139. 35, 37, 138. I already have an Avengers 139. So like I said, I'm finding all these duplicates. And if you need some of these issues that I have duplicates of, I would be glad to trade if you've got duplicates of mainly Silver Age stuff. That I don't have, which is probably most Silver Age comics I don't have. Here's Avengers 128. But, 128. Okay, and I have two, now I have 3 copies of it. I think this was probably actually my childhood copy, because I usually put those first in the box if I have the childhood copy. And since I bought it on an Army base, if that particular issue of Avengers had a Mark Jewelers insert, it's going to be in there. Avengers 104. There's Avengers 100. There's 101. It looks like, let me see here. I've got 2 copies of Avengers 100, 2 of issues 101. I've got 2 copies of 102, 2 of 103, 2 of 104. The reason I've got a lot of duplicates is my friend gave me his collection of the Avengers that went from issue, I think, 16 through about 1975. So the issues I already had, which I had some of in that time period of the 70s, then I had duplicates of them. Here's Avengers 180. Oh, look, a Mark Jewelers insert for those of you that are fascinated with that. That's what a Mark Jewelers insert is. And all that means is that this was a copy sold on an Army base, so that, or Air Force, Navy, whatever. Avengers 180. And some people find that to be an amazing thing. Okay, so I have Avengers 179 and then 180. I need to be careful with this ceiling fan and the fact that I don't have bags on these. 180, then 181, 183. Looks like I'm missing 182, unless that'll appear here. No, this is 326. This bag is so ugly and milky, I'm just going to get rid of it. So, Avengers 326. How horrible. An ad for like Dungeons and Dragons on the back. You know, I'll probably offend people with this. I was a comic book collector, and I like Star Trek and I like Star Wars. And all of a sudden, the few friends I had that I talked to at junior high, started to become interested in Dungeons and Dragons from Gary Gygax, and they would buy all these dice and all these books, and I didn't have any interest. I looked at the books; the art looked very amateurish. I did buy a monster manual, and it's probably one of the first editions, if not a first edition, because I just thought it was interesting to have all the monsters in it and read about them. But I think I sat while someone was playing Dungeons and Dragons a couple of times, and it just seemed like this takes too much time and energy. It's like taking a college course to try to learn the game instead of, like Risk. The directions are right there, very simple. But anyway, I never got into that, and I always thought, well, I'm a nerd, but I don't want to sink down to that level of nerddom. It's like there's different levels. And I thought, well, and then in high school, those same people started playing a game called Champions, and that was Dungeons and Dragons, except it was with, you made your own superhero, and you were a superhero, and I guess you were part of a team or something, and that was a big deal with a lot of them, and I never really played that either, but I had a lot of friends that played it, and there's Mighty Avengers Special #5. I have 2 copies of that. So, then I always heard of Doctor Who. I'd seen pictures of the monsters and the Daleks in magazines and books. And when that finally came to American television, to PBS, I guess that was in the mid-'80s. It was usually on Saturday night, and I was out. And I guess I saw it a few times, and it's like, oh, this is the Doctor Who I'd always heard about. It's like shot on videotape, and like all these British shows, it's shot on videotape. And as soon as they open the door and go outside, it's shot on film. And I was told that was because when videotape came in, the guys that ran the film cameras had a union, and they said, fuck that. We demand a certain percentage of every production still be shot on film. So whenever people go outside, it's shot on film. Any indoor stuff is shot on videotape. You see the same thing in Monty Python's Flying Circus and a lot of these British shows. And so it looked cheap to me. But I didn't watch it. It just visually it looked cheap. But I guess, a kid today watches the original 60s Star Trek and sees the cardboard rocks and everything. They probably think it looks cheap, but to me it's wonderful. But I never gave Doctor Who a chance, and I hear it's just fantastic, and Harlan Ellison said it was like just great, and I trust him, and so I just never given it a chance. But liking Doctor Who, and this is I'm not knocking Doctor Who, I'm just saying if you become a Doctor Who fan, normal people, normies, and even comic book collectors that just collect comics and don't play role-playing games, it's like you're down another level of never getting a date. It's bad enough to be a comic collector, but if you play role-playing games, they're very limited as far as who you're going to date, because there might be like one Velma in the crowd of 20 guys that play that game. And then they're all going to be competing for that one Velma. The type girl that used to write dirty fan fiction about Barnabas Collins or Spock and Kirk getting together. So I always thought, well, I'm a nerd, but at least I'm not that bad. At least I'm not into that. So at least I have some standards. I won't sink to Dungeons and Dragons. I won't sink to Doctor Who. But I hear everybody talking about how great Doctor Who is. I hear Howler Mouse talking about it. I hear Harlan Ellison, when he was alive, talking about it, and I figure maybe I should give it a chance. But then, when do you give it a chance? And I hear it's now terrible because they've gone completely politically correct with it, or identity politics, or whatever the hell you call it. Okay, so I don't see that I have other Avengers of this recent vintage. This is Avengers 48. I guess they started the numbering over again, I assume. Let's put that. Oh. I don't even know how to. Well, here's 379. I think this is a key issue. I have no idea why. That's probably because that character there on the cover. 315, 326, 379. Oh, here's 211. Let's see if I already have that. Sometimes, just if just to show you now, this might be a tip off that you have a Mark Jewelers insert. Is this little star? Because they would stamp your comic when you bought it at a PX, at a basic change. So that's a sign that inside there could be a Mark Jewelers. Not always, but it's not every comic book sold in a PX had the Mark Jewelers insert. There's only certain ones. And I'm sure there's someone that's sunk farther down the rabbit hole of nerddom on the internet that has made a list of every comic with a Mark Jewelers insert. I'm sure you could Google that. Or as my mother-in-law says, Google it down. She said, I'll have to Google that down. I think she's combined downloading with Googling, and it's Google that down. 211, 211, 204, 211. You're fucking kidding me. Yeah, this was one that was bought at Lone Star Comics back in the old day. I don't know if you can see that. Lone Star used to write the condition up here in pencil, and right next to the 211. I don't know if you can see it. It says VG, very good. Writing the condition on a comic is not like really the smartest thing. They used to do it. And I guess the theory was someone can erase it. Here's 209. The Resurrection Stone. 209, 209. I already have a 209. But let's, okay, here's 208. Here's 191. Where are those House of Mystery comics is what's bothering me. 191. Let's see. Ouch. Let's see if they're in this box. Ah. Brave and the Bold, Blue Beetle. Brave and the Bold. Oh man, there's some Richie Rich comics. Hold on. Creatures on the Loose. More Creatures on the Loose. Master of Kung Fu. Richie Rich. Richie Rich. Richie Rich. still more Richie Rich. Oh, this is where a ton of Richie Rich wound up in this box. See, some of these boxes have random stuff in them. And this is, I'm not sure if I have every installment of this gripping story of Wolverine walking around naked in the snow. It's very well drawn, but you start feeling like, come on, Wolverine, put some clothes on. You're starting to get a little too, I don't know. I kind of like my superheroes to wear clothing because, well, if they're male, yeah, wear clothing. God damn it. Wolverine, at least put something on, man. Makes you start wondering about Barry Smith a little bit. Why does he always have to be naked on the covers of his Weapon X comics, man? Can't they do experiments on at least to put some clothing on him? God damn. Wolverine, have you no shame? Okay, we're back to the Richie Rich. Richie Rich. Okay. Here's Marvel 2-in-1. The Thing in Brother Voodoo. Thing in Doctor Strange. This is 49. That's 41. Richie Rich in Cadbury. The Perfect Butler. I'll put that. Shit. Richie Rich and his girlfriends. He's feeding them popcorn. Okay. Richie Rich Billions. You know, if the press had liked Donald Trump, they would have compared him to Richie Rich, but they never did it. And it's just the fact that he looks so much like Donald Trump and is so much Donald Trump, but they just couldn't do that because it would be humanizing him. Here's a childhood copy, Dollars and Cents number 44. So get that in there. That's number 50. Another childhood copy, number 52. It says Graphic Man tagged me in something. Something just popped up that said Graphic Man tagged me, and that must be on Instagram, possibly. Okay. This was my childhood copy, and my brother took a red crayon and drew motion lines coming from that, and it looks like at some point I must have tried to erase them. You can kind of see where I erased in the M. But this is a copy I bought at a later date. Richie Rich Millions, number 52. Billions. Okay, I've got cash after billions. Yes, C comes after B. Then I've got dollars and cents. And then there's girlfriends. Here's millions. Okay. So millions number 52. This is 35. Okay. Millions. Okay. And here's Richie Rich Success Stories number 35. This is also a childhood copy. It looks like I put tape on it as a kid. Here's another childhood copy, Richie Rich Success 51. I guess Success Stories and Success, yeah, I think it's the same comic. They just took stories off of the title. Richie Rich Vaults of Mystery. His friend is kind of disturbing looking. I knew a guy that looked just like that back in the 90s. I won't say anything more in case he watches the show. Let's see. Richie Rich, Money World. Money World would be after Millions. I wonder how many different Richie Rich titles there were. I guess I could look it up on mycomicshop.com. This one, I think, yeah, this one came from Captain Strangelove. Gold and Silver. Girlfriends, Gold and Silver. So did this one, Gems #1. Here's Gems #11. Both of these also came from Captain Strangelove in an act of kindness. Gems go before Gold and Silver and before Girlfriends. Richie Rich, Riches #4. I'll go back through and show all of these covers with better camera angles and everything. Right now I'm really honestly trying to work and get this stuff done. Oh, this was, it's actually a magazine. It's comic size called Sentai. Sentai means 5-man team in Japanese, and this is a fan magazine about Japanese superhero shows like Space Giants and Kamen Rider and all that kind of stuff. But stuff that I think people know as Power Rangers here in the States. But Kamen Rider was and Ultraman were to me the best of that lot. Oh boy! Oh, did you hear that crack? All right. Okay. What else do we have here? I sure have a lot of copies of Warlock. Everywhere there's copies of Warlock. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's in this box. Action, adventure. Okay, let's maybe I'll move this box over. There seems to be a lot of A comics in this box. I'll move it over next to the other A box, and then I'll start getting the Action comics together. Okay, so I guess the first, is there anything in the alphabet that we buy that's before Action? I can't think of anything. It seems like everything starts with Action. Okay. Oh shit, how can I get this camera just out? Oh, please. Well, maybe that'll, ooh. All right. I'll kind of bend down. Okay, so some of these out of here. There's Teen Titans 17. I bought that just for the cover. There's some great Submariner stuff. I'll put that over in this box temporarily. Oh, this is stuff I showed a while back. This is a book that was reprinted in those recently in those dollar books that Marvel put out, where they reprinted, you know, key issues. I'm not sure why this is a key issue, but they did reprint it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Some Korak, Son of Tarzan. A bunch of those. Let me cull. Oh yeah, Little Kids. This is 50s Marvel reprints. It's really cool. There was another one called Little Pals with funny animal characters. The logo was almost identical to it. It's Amazing Spider-Man 268. I don't know if this has some value or not. Probably to somebody. There's another Savage Submariner, the famous hero from Mexico. Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. Oh, here's a Mexican Spider-Man comic, but it's not one of the ones. Oh, did I show you these the other day? I couldn't have. I must have shown you other issues. I must have more than a few of these, but these are not the ones where they went off on their own and created their own storyline. I'm not sure where I got these. Yeah, I did show you this because I showed you the pinup. Oh, yeah, man. I showed you this. I put stuff in this box that I showed you the other day because I definitely showed you this cover. All right, those are the ones I showed you. Here's one of those comics from Spire. That's a religious comic. You buy those in Christian bookstores. Okay. All right, so. Hold on a moment. New camera angle. Well, Meyer Greenblatt sent me a message that he might come visit for a while. That would be cool. Someone to help me organize comics, and maybe we can go on a road trip or something. What I want to do, it's a good long road trip, but I think let's go to House on the Rock. Is that what it's called? It's not. I think it's 4 or 5 hours away, but I've always wanted to go there. That's supposed to be the best tourist attraction in the United States. Okay, so we've got All-Star Squadron. Let's move some of these All-Star Squadrons out of this box into the other. Okay, so Action Comics number 623. Let me show you the first Action Comics I ever bought. I think was this. It was this issue. This is the first copy of Action Comics. This is my childhood copy. This is 444. And of course, I bought some further back, you know, but that was just the one I started with that I bought off the rack. Good. Here's the burger eating issue. It says, more burgers, chomp, keep them coming, gulp, or I'll starve to death. What? But you've already eaten enough for an army. And then this, of course, is a notorious cover. I don't think they meant for it to look that way. But with all these Democrats, a president that does that kind of stuff, now that's all people think of when they see a cover like that is all these Democrats, these Democratic politicians and movie stars that do that kind of thing. Oh, here's Adventure with Black Orchid. This is number 428. I always liked her design. Okay, Action Comics Weekly 623. Here's 614. Boy, I always like this cover. 624. $634. I got 2 copies of that. $635. I think the issues around in this area, in this era, are a little more valuable. $635. This is $623. $634. $634. Okay, so this one goes right in front of that Black Canary issue. Oh, and I haven't. Look, I've got 2 more. I've got 3 copies of that. I must have liked that cover. Here's a pin-up-y looking cover, 639 of Phantom Lady and Hulk Hogan. I think it's 639. I feel like I've had Drew in a cage too long down there. I'm starting to feel bad. I need to go down and check on her. Okay, here's action number 648. Also need to check on the time because my wife has an appointment at 3. Here's Adventure with the Death of Batman 462. I showed you this the other day, but then I couldn't find the other Adventure comics to file it with. Here's 460, 462, and then it goes to 471. Oh, they're in here. Here's 463. I showed you this the other day. Here's 464. See, this is one of those dollar comics that I was telling you about that my brother got mad about. He says, comics are $1? That's a ripoff. So then it was an experiment and it didn't work, so then they dropped back down to 40 cents and became thinner again. 463, yeah. $1 was a lot at that point, 468. Okay, I'm not showing them very well. 468. 470. I have 2 468s, then 470, then I have 471. Then here's Astonishing Tales number 31. Where are my Astonishing Tales? All-Star. Now somewhere I've got the first of when All-Star Comics came back, and that is somewhere, but it is not in this box. I've been having trouble finding that particular issue. But I had that problem at the old house, I remember, not being able to find it. Because I had misfiled it. Probably I took it out to show it, and maybe on a show or something, I don't know. 662 of Action. 664. Okay, it goes in there. I don't have much around this time period. This is about the end of it. 694. And it looks like the last Action Comics I have is 708. And that's in that's 1993. I kind of started buying other things, I guess. I guess I just didn't have, comics just weren't the same, I guess. I don't know. Astonishing Tales, Alpha Flight, Amazing Adventures. And, alright, maybe it's here. Animax, Eric, Atlantis, Arg. There's Astonishing Tales. This is that character that later became the Golem, It. This is my childhood copy. It should be bagged and boarded, but it isn't. Astonishing Tales 31. 31. Oh, I have 2 copies of 31. Oh, wonderful. Here's Alf number 8. Alf. Alf would go before Avengers. Okay, this is the first time I've filed an Alf comic into these boxes officially. I got a bunch of Alf copies over the last year because that's something that my wife likes. Okay. Well. I'm gonna maybe call it quits here for a little bit. Go downstairs and maybe show you some stuff downstairs so I can let her out of the cage, because this is not cool. And all right, so turn off some lights. Let me turn off the light to the elevator and close the door. I wish I had a clock on this level that would tell me what time it is. But let's go downstairs and see. I started filming at like 11, I think, so it's probably about 1 o'clock now. It's probably much later your time, because this will take at least a few hours to upload to YouTube. It looks like it's about 1:30, and my wife's gonna need to get up at 2. There you are, Drew. You having a good sleep down there? You can get out if you want, or if you. All right. Well, I was at a sale last week. I got a bunch of lamps and some furniture, and there was a little shop that a guy had bought a building, and it was filled with thousands of VHS cassettes, and he was trying to unload them. I didn't see anything I wanted. They were all kind of dirty rental copies. But he had giant boxes of VHS cassettes, and each box was $5. But I didn't want to risk it. But he had some calendars that he was selling for nothing. And where did I put them? I'll show you those calendars. They're probably nothing interesting. Maybe one of you will find them interesting. God damn it. We get the shrink wrap off them, because the shrink wrap feels kind of dirty. Okay, this is the Nerdrotic Nooner show from Wednesday. I was recording it onto a DVD. And then they're going to have their show here in a couple hours, their Friday show that goes on for hours. All right, well, I figured this would have some value to somebody. It's a 1996 Power Rangers calendar that's still in its shrink wrap, but I will take that shrink wrap off because I'm not that stupid. Still in its shrink wrap. Yeah. Well, not anymore. Because it feels dirty and then you can't really see the pictures inside now. Power Rangers was a show in Japan called Zyuranger, and it was bought by this American studio. They kept the fight scenes, but everything else they filmed with American actors. So it's really shitty, and then all of a sudden it goes to some pretty cool fight scenes where the giant robot's fighting a monster, and then, you know, it cuts back to this shit where these guys are hanging around in a mall, and they should have just kept the original show and dubbed it into English, but I guess kids wouldn't have accepted it. But, you know, they have, in Japan, the pink one is the one that is the girl. And this is what Sentai, that magazine I showed you, Sentai means 5-man team. And so, and it was a 5-man team, but then they added this guy. I remember he was real popular. So I was teaching 4th grade when this was on television. It was the Green Ranger that they loved, but then I guess he turned into that guy. But anyway, every year in Japan they have a different 5-man team, or every 2 years or something like that. So, but it's always the same thing with their different colors. In the American version, this was a guy. In the Japanese version, there's a guy in that suit, but I guess they wanted to have another girl on the team, so they made it a girl. But the footage you see, if you watch the original Power Rangers, that's actually a guy. So it's just these pictures, you know. Wow, that's folded even inside the shrink wrap. It's just exciting to all the, you know, maybe to one of you that grew up at that time. I mean, I was 30 when that started. I mean, I liked the Japanese shows. I just didn't like the Americanized versions of them. From that same time period, see, the problem with shrink wrap, you can keep it in the shrink wrap, but the shrink wrap shrinks, and then it starts bending what's inside, be it a record album or a calendar in this case. So I'm getting rid of this nasty shrink wrap.
They all have British accents and they're all white. I love it. It's like a classic Star Wars movie. So, and I'm cool with it. I love it. But I'd love to discuss this movie with you, and that's why I'm glad more people.
All right, so this is a Beverly Hills 90210 calendar. I actually watched that show, and the reason I started watching it is I think I saw a Mad Magazine parody of the show, or maybe I saw a TV Guide cover, and I thought, and I kind of had a crush on Shannon Doherty. So I started watching it, and then I became kind of addicted to it like a total moron. But yeah, I used to watch this show. This calendar's kind of been up. But look at how 90s looking it is, the lettering and everything. There's old Luke Perry, was that his name? My gosh, that's supposed to be a teenager, yeah. He looks like he's 35 years old. Anyway, Shannon Doherty doesn't look like that anymore, but you know, that's. This is comic book related. Young Blood. Maybe one of you would like to trade some Silver Age comics to me for this. I don't think so. One of you may be more into Young Blood than me. I got these because I thought, wow, someone would care about that. It's a 1996 calendar of Young Blood. All these characters that nobody remembers. They're pretty well designed, you know. Maybe someone will turn them into a movie sometime, and they'll all be played by teenage girls. Here's an X-Men calendar that was $9.95 when it came out. It's for no, they're not. It's not a calendar. They're placards
do a Marvel
from
film, and he's like, yeah, I don't want to make a Marvel movie. Not doing it.
who knows when.
So.
Oh, and that's good. And I don't think RRR is playing.
So at one point there were a lot of baseball cards in there too. So apparently it was a video game. I mean a video and video games too, and a bunch of cheesy antiques. So apparently someone was trying to have a collectible store at some point in this town back 30 years ago, and this stuff sat abandoned in this old building for decades until this guy bought it and wants to clear it out. There was a lot of bowling alley supplies in there too. There was all the flooring for a bowling lane. You could buy that, so you could build your own bowling lane. So it's this little
I am actually
posters.
Doing RRR tonight. I'm actually doing a live stream on the Film Threat channel. So after you're done watching Gary read these
How about that?
chats, if you would like, come to my channel.
Everybody-
We're going to be talking about it. We're talking about a lot of stuff.
Always got their mouth open pretty wide. Oh, this is just a piece of cardboard to keep them stiff.
Private chat if you want to share that. Some fan sent me a thing where he made
Storm.
a fan cut of the first 3 episodes.
Yes, indeed.
I think it's like polishing a turd to me. Like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So there's a fan cut. If you wanna, Gary, you've got the link to it. And,
These are dated 1992.
And subscribe to my channel, Film Threat, and Gary, I just appreciate.
Yeah,
being-
I think that's all of them.
I feel
Oh,
very
and this team
inclusive.
shot,
The,
You can
which
see
is
yourself in the
probably the
mirror.
best of the
I see myself on the news.
best of them.
I feel.
And then I guess this little thing
is
part of it.
Anyways, thanks again.
That I should save
will
with it.
See you next week, and have fun. Hey, wait, you'll be in Dallas, right? Are you going to that? Where are you gonna be?
I'll be in Dallas, but like showtime will be normal. I'll be home.
Thinking, oh, he's gonna be in Dallas, so I could. No, I'm not in Dallas anymore. I used to be. So that's 10 hours away.
Sounds good.
That Gary from Nerdrotic was living in San Francisco, but it was just too much of a cesspool, so he moved to Texas, I think near San Antonio, and I guess they're having some big convention in Dallas, so he's going there. But even when I lived in Texas, I didn't like going to Dallas, even though it was about 20-25 minutes away, because it's pretty crime-ridden. And I got mugged once and was, almost killed. So I kind of don't like being around crime. It's not fun. This is a Power Rangers calendar. Is it the same calendar? I don't know. I think it's different from the other one. This is, what the hell year is this? This is 96. The other one was,
I would like to get an opinion of
was it
my
the same
comic
fucking
fan.
one?
Can't wait to show you.
Yeah, I've got two. I accidentally bought two of the same year.
Yes, dude.
So,
Give you an opinion.
that's probably the best shot in the calendar. So if you want,
No,
you want to trade for any of these calendars, man, I'm a ready teddy. I got them just because, it's like, wow, that's kind of interesting. Just, I don't see anything like that that's vaguely nerd related in this town. Lots of pictures of John Wayne everywhere, which is cool. In the barbecue restaurant that we may eat at tonight, there's pictures of him all over the wall. When I went to get my driver's license, all over the wall, John Wayne, because he was born 50 miles from here in Winterset. And I've still yet to go see his boyhood home. And when I do, I'll bring this phone along with me to record that. So I'm going to put all this filthy shrink wrap and cardboard into a trash bag. So, what are you guys doing this weekend? Stanley J. Kirby is watching. Whenever you want to come visit, he lives around here somewhere, a few hours, maybe a few hours away, I don't know. He's going to take me around on a tour of the good comic shops. Let's see. I gotta pick up a dog turd on this diaper here. I won't show it to you because it's too horrifying to see. But perhaps you'll see it in the reflection in the... No, maybe you won't. All right. You don't... Oh, you saw it. Terrifying. Okay. I have some trash I got to pick up upstairs, too. Oh, boy. The calendar guy, the guy I got those calendars from, is the same guy I got this liquor dispenser, I think, from. I'll show it to you. I've shown it to you before. This right here came from the same sale. All right. Let's go into the Christmas bathroom. All right. Captain Strangelove accidentally left all these toiletries here, so I've kept them here safe for him. I've got some mess I've got to pick up here. One moment, guys. So, anyway, I have a lot of cardboard boxes I have to get rid of, and I thought, what am I going to do? I've got like cardboard boxes stacked to the ceiling in part of the garage, and I'm throwing away all these nasty yellow comic book bags that I've gotten off of comics here. What am I going to do with all these cardboard boxes? And then I found out there was a cardboard recycling plant, like basically right next door, almost right behind the house, basically. So I've taken so many cardboard boxes there. Who knows how much money he made off of me. I'm gonna take some more to him. I'll show you this place. The building, I thought it was an abandoned building, but there's always a little machine running in there, crushing all the bags and compressing them. Hold on one second. Oh, there's another thing I gotta pick up. I just remembered. Oh, I left the light on in here. See, I do that and I'm gonna get in trouble. My wife's gonna say, why did you leave this light on? I forgot. Hold on. One moment, folks. I'll take you over to the cardboard recycling place. You won't believe it. Hold on a second. Gotta use the restroom. Drew, will you entertain these people while I use the restroom? Let me put the card. I'm gonna put this here. Drew, now you entertain them. Because, Take that box down to the recycling, and this comic book box that's in terrible disrepair that was given to me. I don't like boxes that are fucking held together with tape. It's just disreputable looking, right? This box does not meet my standards. See what I mean? It just looks so bad. I don't like that shit. It was free, and it served its purpose to transport some model kits covered in peanuts here to Iowa, but now I don't want to really put comics in a box that looks like this. It's un-American. Something a Democrat would do. Someone that voted for Biden might you put comics in a box like this. No real American would do that. All real Americans have better quality comic boxes. Right. Doing the right thing, turning off lights. It gets to be about 2 o'clock. I gotta make sure that we start getting ready for my wife's appointment. Okay, turn off the lights.
Yeah, it needs to be destroyed and dismantled in the form it is.
All right, hold on. So anyway, you want to trade comics or trade for those calendars? Something you cherish from your childhood that you want to get that I've got duplicates of. I need to start generating an income stream, I guess. All right. I left the door open. I left it unlocked is what I meant, which is what apparently a lot of people do because it's relatively... That must have been when that guy came earlier. Okay, so, all right. Okay. So the first thing, we'll throw the trash into the trash can. So that's accomplished. Now I'm going to take these two cardboard, hold on. One second. Take these boxes down to the recycling place. All right, now watch. I've transported like 1 million boxes down here now. So all I have to do, I've got this little gazebo or whatever you call this thing here. Maybe you can, your band can perform here. It says I have a low battery. Can you imagine? Okay, so this is the alley behind the house. And see, there's a little ramshackle. It's not little, but it used to be a John Deere plant. And that's where I take the cardboard boxes. And I just put them in inside their door.